Good evening and welcome back to Midnight Movie Club. I thought it was about time that we talked about the zombies in Army of the Dead. So in this video we are going to go over where does the virus come from, what does the virus do, who and what can be infected by it, what do these alpha zombies want, and the hierarchy of these zombies as well. Then at the end I'll round it all out with my theory of everything, and also I'll let you know what's fact and what's not yet confirmed as we go out through each section in this video. First up, where does the virus come from? The fact of the matter is, in Army of the Dead, it is Area 51. The Army of the Dead zombie virus somehow escapes Area 51. We even see military mobilising from Area 51 as they are en route to meet the chaos in Las Vegas. This is probably during the initial attack, that initial outbreak. I'm going to call this the Shambler attack as well, because I believe we see two different time frames in the official trailer. We see that initial attack with all of the slow Shambler, classic type zombies, and then we see the team going in to perform the heist, get the money out, where they run into the alpha zombies. Now, obviously during this first attack, Las Vegas gets the absolute shit bombed out of it as we see that the soldiers get overrun. The guy in the gun gets overrun by a huge horde of zombies. He pops the smoke and in comes the napalm. Then when we return to Las Vegas with the team, you can see that all the buildings are all burnt out and blown up and the place is an absolute tip. In one of the behind the scenes photos as well, we see Zack Snyder and Dave Bautista as they stand in front of a huge pile of charred up dead shamblers. So it looks like those gigantic hordes that we see behind the shipping containers will be dealt with before the team head in. So that is what we know. It comes from Area 51 and it makes its way to Las Vegas somehow. Now what's not yet confirmed is, where it came from before Area 51. Was it created there? Did they bring it from somewhere, or did it actually come from space? Hear me out with this one. The virus came from space. When Zack Snyder was asked during the live Q&A session before the official trailer dropped on the Army of the Dead event where you needed a code and everything like that, I was actually watching it on a live stream on YouTube. Someone was streaming it, so luckily I got to see it. And he was asked, there was talk back in the Romero movies that Romero's virus came from outer space, from a down satellite or meteor or something like that. And then they asked him, is it something similar for these zombies? Were these zombies created by something falling to Earth from space? And he acted very cagey and he looked like he was hiding something. And with that connection with Area 51, I think it's pretty safe to say there is a good chance of this zombie virus in Army of the Dead coming from space, either from a meteor or a satellite or a UFO crash landing, or maybe, it's an alien attack and they're trying to weaken us before they come down and take over. Personally, I do think it could be a UFO crash landing site where they've got this sort of specimen from. Maybe it's a bit of goop or something like that, or something that's, attached itself to a bit of charred up metal, or, it's a meteor and it's something like, zombies from the Call of Duty's games with Element 115 and all that sort of stuff. I think that would be pretty cool, and with this connection to Area 51, I definitely could see it being something from outer space. Now, what does this virus do? Well, the fact is, host dies, then they turn into a Shambler zombie with the possibility of becoming an alpha zombie. Shamblers seem like their only goal is to eat those who are not infected, whereas alphas look like they have another agenda. Alphas have increased strength and speed and possibly endurance if their brain is not destroyed. What is yet not confirmed, but I will theorise, is that alpha zombies are created when a Shambler zombie lives for a certain amount of time or consumes enough human flesh to evolve. Snyder did say in the live Q&A that they act like wolves and hunt in packs. So either the virus acts differently with certain people, or the alpha zombies are the zombies who survived the initial bombings of Las Vegas. Maybe they were inside, hunkering down somewhere. So all the zombies who were outside in the big hordes, they all got dealt with and they're all dead. But the zombies that survived, they've lived on. They've kept eating somehow, they've kept surviving. Maybe they've ate all of the dead flesh off the other zombies who died, and that's how they've kept going, and they've just ate some survivors here or there, and because they've stayed alive so long, they have eventually evolved into these alpha zombies. Now, who and what can be infected? This is a nice quick little easy section. Basically, the fact is here, everyone can be infected, along with any animal species. The only species that cannot be infected by the virus are birds. And once again, in that live Q&A, Zack Snyder basically cleared this up by saying, he didn't want birds to be able to get infected because then it would have spread too easy, and he wanted to keep it contained to Las Vegas because, if the whole world's overrun with zombies, money doesn't mean a thing. So this team wouldn't have any reason to go in and steal the money and therefore, give us a plot and give us a movie. So birds can't get it, they're safe from it, but pretty much everyone else and everything else is fair game. Next up, what do the alpha zombies want? And this is one of the most interesting parts for me. I really can't wait to get an answer to this. Now, fact, in the leaked first draft script that leaked a little while back, there was a first draft way back in 2008, and I think it was initially meant to be a sequel to Zack Snyder's Dawn, but then it was scrapped and it just disappeared. Zack Snyder went on to do other things, but it's kind of been resurrected for Army of the Dead and tweaked slightly, but there's certain things we can read into in that leaked script that give us an idea for the alpha zombies, their motivations in Army of the Dead. So let's see what it is. Basically, in that initial script, the alpha zombies were dragging away females of the team and any female they could find in the city to procreate with them to create hybrid zombies. Somehow, even though they were dead, male zombies were able to impregnate human females who would become pregnant with their babies, growing at a very rapid rate. Soon the baby would get too big and claw its way out of the mother, killing them, and therefore giving birth to a hybrid zombie. Now, this part isn't confirmed, but apparently this has since been cut from the script, and thank God, may I add. I really don't like this concept. I would rather them just being kept smart, fast, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think this needs to be in here. I'm not a fan of this procreation thing, but something similar may still be in the Army of the Dead script. As in the trailer, it does look like the zombies want to grow their ranks and create a proper army, possibly to try and conquer the world. They seem more ambitious than just standing around a hotel lobby forever. They are also seen dragging off Theo Ross's character Burt Cummings. The king and queen stand over him while cheering as the rest of the horde go up in a rapturous uproar. So obviously they will use him for something, maybe to set a trap like we see in the trailer, or to once again procreate, except this time it's not just women being used, it's men as well. And yeah, I really hope that just isn't in there at all. I think it just takes a step too far, and it's just a place we really don't need to go. Now, we might not know exactly everything these alpha zombies want and their motivations, but we certainly do know one motivation for this king leader of the alphas. And it is a spoiler, so if you don't want spoilers, please click off now. But yeah, I'm going to talk about it in 3, 2, 1, here we go. The queen zombie gets decapitated. We see Garrett Dillahunt's character whip out this wire sort of weapon, and it looks like in front of him is the queen zombie lying there dazed and confused as her head kind of rolls around. You can kind of see her little headband crown thing there, and it looks like he actually saws off her head and possibly keeps it, because when we see another shot of this swimming pool area at the Olympus Hotel where the alphas have taken up residence, we see the king zombie standing above the queen zombie's body, and she's been decapitated, and he hasn't got her head isn't anywhere in sight, so it looks like the team may keep her head. We know character of Martin, played by Garrett Dillahunt, is going to be a bit of a bad guy. You know, he's working for Hunter Bly. He's probably going to turn on them. He maybe wants, you know, a souvenir from this heist. He's probably sick and twisted, so he's probably kept her head. And this extremely pisses off the king zombie, obviously, as he, you know, lifts his hands up and roars above his dead queen's body. But there's also something very interesting in this shot here as well. There's actually a couple of zombies where it looks like their eyes are glowing blue, and yeah, I have nothing to add to that. They just look like they're glowing blue. One looks like the whole face is kind of lit up blue. Then there's another one kind of off in the background, and it just looks like his two eyes are bright blue, almost the same colour as like Godzilla's atomic breath. I do not know what is going on there. Is this, you know, more evidence to support that this virus or whatever is, you know, possessing them, controlling them, and infecting them is from outer space? Is it some sort of alien thing? I don't know what's going on here. Is it something up with the camera, the lighting, the colour grade? What is up with this guy's eyes? What's up with that other zombie's face? It's very strange. But yeah, we do know that that'll be one motivation for the King Alpha Zombie. Maybe he just wants revenge. We see the Queen and the zombie that was with her bring Burt Cummins' character, Phil Ross's character, Burt Cummins, to the Olympus. They must capture him when the team are first met by these zombies. And they drag him back, and the queen must be told by the king, you know, take him away again, use him as a trap to get the others. And the others are then surprised by this. They're surprised to see Burt again, and they're surprised to see these two zombies come back with him. But obviously when they come back with him, this is when the queen zombie is killed, and her body is then returned to the king zombie, possibly by the zombie that goes with her to take Burt to the team to, you know, set this trap or trade even. And then this is where the king is like, right, full on war now, fuck it, let's go after them. They've killed my queen and they've kept her head, so I'm just gonna throw every last zombie I have at them. He's taking the horde, he's on horseback, he's got his tiger, and he just goes balls to the walls after this team. And I'm sure they're not going to mess about with them now that they've killed the queen. I'm sure it's just going to be a full-on massacre, and they're just going to try and eat them. Moving on now to the hierarchy. There is a king and queen zombie that lead the rest of the horde. It doesn't look like a hive mind connection at all. It looks like they actually communicate through growls and movements like we see in the trailer. We see the king and the queen touching foreheads, and they actually look quite romantic and as if they actually care for one another. And it's actually nice seeing that level of emotion from zombies, and I think it'll be better for when, you know, when we see them getting decapitated and stuff like that. If we see another one actually care for another one, that'll be pretty cool. And I'm interested to see how that dynamic, you know, makes its way into the film. As the team are murdering zombies and zombies are murdering them, there's going to be emotions on both sides for a change, which I think is honestly a nice change. So before I start talking too long, there's more I could talk about here, but I just want to end things and wrap it up. Here is my theory. My theory is that the virus came from space, either from a meteorite or a UFO crash. It was being studied at Area 51 and somehow escaped to Las Vegas. Maybe it could even be a parasite. We do see a bachelorette party that look like some of the first shamblers. Maybe they came into contact with an infected person from the base at a club or at a strippers or something like that, and that is how it spread. I believe if a zombie stays alive for long enough, it eventually gains more sentience and becomes an alpha zombie. With dragging people away, I believe that they are just using people for traps, food, or to even bargain with people in exchange for something else, something that will aid them in some sort of way. Either way, I think this is an alien virus that eventually evolves the victims into these alphas, and now that they have an established hierarchy, they are organising, plotting and planning to take over as the dominant species. Scott Ward's team were going into the heist expecting a cakewalk with maybe a few shambles left over from the initial bombings, but are met with advanced, terrifying creatures that could put us down a peg on the food chain. If we don't wipe them out, the world could have to go to war with a proper Army of the Dead. But yeah, that's everything we kind of know so far on the zombies in Zack Snyder's upcoming Army of the Dead. It's everything I kind of wanted to cover and all the things I kind of want answers to. Obviously, some of this is fact. I have marked what is fact, and I've also marked what is not yet confirmed, and a lot of it is theory, like that little bit at the end there. But I'm very keen to hear all of your theories in the comment section down below. Please do get chatting down there. I try to respond to every single comment, good or bad. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like, and if you are new here to the channel, then subscribe for more content like this and many more horror movies, news, reviews, lore and more. As always, thank you very much for watching and good night.